Sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai.
What a lovely day today, right? It's a good summer day. We have temperatures around 90 degrees, low humidity, thanks to all this dry air. Can we keep that for the next few days? I think we can. There are some changes headed our way after that. Details of your 5 or 6 forecast straight ahead.
Now on News Channel 6 at 6, a bomb threat at an Aiken Elementary School. We'll have the latest on the situation. Plus, the search continues for a permanent city administrator in Augusta, where leaders stand in the process. And the TechNet conference coming to a close. We'll take you inside a roundtable with cyber leaders at Fort Gordon as your News at 6 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you so much for joining us. Brad is off today. Coverage you can count on begins with a bomb threat at the East Aiken School of Arts. It was a big scare for hundreds of families this morning. The good news is all the students and staff are safe. Graham Lee has more.
A frightening scene at East Aiken School of the Arts as a bomb threat Thursday morning sent parents into panic mode.
It scared us.
According to the school's website, someone texted a bomb threat using a hotline and threatened to kill himself in the school's parking lot. The school was put on lockdown until just after noon, and with few answers throughout the morning, parents like Leroy Abney were terrified.
We don't know what's going on. They said it's a bomb threat, but they also said it was somebody with a gun on campus. So we just want to make sure the kids straight. Especially my son.
Parents were eventually able to reunite with their children, but now the question is if Aiken is doing enough to keep the students safe. In Tuesday's meeting, the Aiken City Council voted to approve a grant that would add another school resource officer. Councilperson Andrea Gregory says it's an uncomfortable conversation to have, but the safety of the children must be a priority.
We need to really speak and have these conversations, and I know Stuart opened the door to these conversations this week with the district, because we need the district to step up and help support and fund more resources at our schools to keep our kids safe and under control.
As the investigation continues into this bomb threat, the goal is to keep the kids safe, no matter what it takes. In Aiken, Graham Lee, WJBF, News Channel 6.
A shooting at T.W. Josie High School yesterday is the latest incidence of violence in Richmond County schools. The cafeteria fight between two students ended with one shot in the finger. News Channel 6 has learned the 16-year-old suspect turned himself in today. As instances of violence continue in local schools, parents and city and state officials say things need to change soon. Senator Harold Jones tells us he's urging students to treat each other better and for their parents to get more involved.
Now, how can the state get involved? Anything that we can do to help with financial issues as far as security is concerned, we need to make sure that we'll step up to the plate and make sure that actually happens. Because security is paramount. Our community cannot grow if we don't have an education system that's also growing and thriving. So we want to make sure that security is taken care of.
Josie High School, Murphy Middle, and Marion E. Barnes Career Center will be closed through Friday. Tomorrow night, more deputies from the Sheriff's Department will be at Burke County High School for the football game against Thompson. The Sheriff's Office says it's out of precaution after 4 separate fights at Burke County High School since the new year started. All are gang-related. 9 people have been charged, but not everyone is in custody. Additional charges are expected. Our chief meteorologist, Tim Miller, is joining us.
Jenny.
All right, Tim, can't wait for that. A year and a half after the job became open, Augusta is now ready to search for a permanent city administrator. A search firm is now in place, but not before the city said it didn't want one of its employees involved. Senior reporter George Escala explains.
Augusta leaders finally getting down to business, searching for a permanent city administrator.
We're excited that the process finally starts for us to at least see what talents are out there regarding having a more permanent administrator.
In June, commissioners voted to get proposals from firms to conduct a southeastern U.S. search. The best bid, $31,000 from Developmental Associates LLC. But the bid hit a snag because former Augusta City Administrator Janice Allen Jackson, who resigned 3 years ago, is on the staff.
It's just one of those things, no disrespect. It's just that she worked in this government, is no longer with this government.
But city leaders approved the firm after the company sent a letter saying Jackson will not be part of the Augusta search.
She's just a hired consultant, but they have given us the confidence and assuredness that she's not going to be involved in this process.
We're going to honor their word, and that's the right reason you saw unanimous consent to move forward with the hiring firm. At the end of the day, people are going to apply because it's the city of Augusta, not the hiring firm. And
Takia Dallas has served as interim administrator since February of last year, and some don't think any search firm is needed to find her replacement.
I support Takia Dallas and the job that she's done. I think more importantly than anything is to have somebody who's going to be here in Augusta.
The search is on to see who will permanently sit in the administrator's seat. In Augusta, George Escala, WJBF, News Channel 6.
It is the fourth and final day of Augusta's TechNet conference. Today, leaders from the U.S. Army Cyber Center of Excellence at Fort Gordon held a panel discussion about what they've been working on. Hannah Latier joins us now with more in tonight's Cyber Insider.
Those at the discussion had the chance to ask military leaders questions about the Cyber Center's progress, initiatives, goals, and more. The Cyber Center of Excellence trains and educates signal, cyber, and electronic warfare professionals. Some topics covered include how they're trying to further cybersecurity and artificial intelligence education. And some of this education began this year in the K-12 curriculum at Columbia County Schools. The TechNet conference is a way for the Cyber Center to showcase what it does while also gaining support from community partners. Leaders say the main goal of all projects within the center is national security.
There is a workforce shortage in signal and cyber type jobs, even beyond the military, beyond the government, and we need to make sure that the United States is fully secured for our future.
Those leaders are working on expanding that cyber curriculum to Richmond County Schools next, and then into other surrounding counties. Jenny?
All right, Hannah, thanks so much. Augusta is getting a new Kroger next spring. For those in the area, this new grocery store will bridge many different gaps. This morning, corporate partners and local leaders toured the construction site for the new store. Senator Harold Jones was one in the group, and he says he's glad to be a part of the project and all of the resources it provides.
So you have both things that are actually happening. That's great. So you have a store that people can come shop at. We love that. But you also have a corporation that wants to be involved in the community and deal with various issues, including food insecurity. We're ecstatic to have them here.
Kroger also donated checks to Augusta Dream Center and Augusta Riverkeeper. The store is set to open in the spring of 2024. Coming up, the latest on the indictments against former President Trump when the Fulton County DA wants the trial to get underway. First, though, a look at what's ahead tonight on News Nation.
It starts at 7 on News Channel 6.
The Atlanta prosecutor bringing former President Trump's fourth indictment is pushing for a March trial start date. Fulton County DA Fannie Willis is also proposing arraignments for Trump and the 18 other defendants for the first week of September. The defendants are accused of committing various crimes as part of a scheme to keep him in power after his 2020 election loss.
The fake electors scheme has led to a number of the charges in this indictment in Georgia, including the making of false statements, perjury. These are all acts in furtherance of the RICO conspiracy.
The defendants have until August 25th at noon to turn themselves in. Okay, Tim, going to answer the big question about Santa Monica and Augusta.
That's right. We're going to talk about that and its connection, an odd connection. In the meantime, we're going to talk about today's high. How about that? 90. Wow, it felt great outside, didn't it? With that low humidity, nowhere near the record of 105. We will be talking about some changes in our forecast. All that coming up next.
Spring, South Carolina, I-20 exit 51 in Lexington.
Something about the morning, makes you feel good now. You know that I love you. Good morning, Augusta. Let's see where it takes us. Good morning, Augusta.
Don't snooze.
Something we'll be watching very closely. Let's give away our Viper 6 umbrella tonight. Our winner is Yolanda Hickson of Thompson. Congratulations, Yolanda. Register to win yours at WJBF.com.
All right. Thank you so much, Tim. Coming up, it's the opening night of the high school football season. We'll look at the matchups and have a live report from a Thursday edition of Game Night Live in sports. At Atlanta, it's the opening night of the high school football season. We'll look at the matchups and have a live report from a Thursday edition of Game Night Live in sports. At Atlanta Augusta Sewing Center, we're helping you sew you with unmatched customer service. Machines that meet your every need. Supplies you need for every project, start to finish. And education and training to show you the way. And expert maintenance and service when you need it most. Atlanta Augusta Sewing Center, sew you. We wanted
WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
Tonight officially kicks off our local high school football season. You can tell because my tie has footballs on it. We've got 2 games on the schedule, and be sure to join us tomorrow night for the first full episode of Football Friday Night, right after the 11 o'clock news. And if you missed our 2022-23 preview show last week, you can check it out on the sports page at WJBF.com. One of the games tonight features a pair of new head coaches. Chris Thomas, hired this summer to take over the Augusta Christian Lions. He was a coordinator at Laney in 2020 and 21. Comes over after 1 season as the offensive coordinator at Greene County High School. They'll be on the road at Ridge Spring Minetta, and new Trojans head coach Jerry Bannon. Bannon served as defensive coordinator under Brian Smith, who took the head coaching job at Barnwell. Speaking of Barnwell, Brian Smith and his young Warhorses are on the road at Wilson Elko in an old rivalry that will be featured on a special Thursday edition of Game Night Live. John Hart and Ashley Brown will have the call, and our Kira Goldstein will have the sidelines covered. She joins us live from Wilson Elko with more on tonight's game. Hey, Kira.
Football season is officially here. If you don't know, it's okay.
Well, yeah, she's there. We'll have the highlights for you coming up tonight at 11. Meanwhile, in Columbia, the South Carolina Gamecocks holding a scrimmage earlier this week. Quarterback Spencer Rattler and the offense been displaying some explosive plays. The quarterback had high praise for his team just a few weeks into camp.
This is the best camp I've been a part of. Offensively, I love everything we're doing. I don't feel any growing pains myself. The group has been gelling, been playing fast. We have a ton of explosive plays and touchdowns this camp. I mean, way more than last year, for sure. So, I feel like it's a complete turn. But like you said, we got to come out and do it and prove it. So we're just going to keep stacking days, keep gelling, and keep creating that chemistry.
We'll get to see it when the Gamecocks open with North Carolina September 2nd in Charlotte. And the PGA Tour FedEx Cup playoffs. How about Georgia Bulldog and reigning Open champion Brian Harman tied at the top with Rory McIlroy, and nobody been hotter than Lucas Glover, the Clemson Tiger, tied for 23rd at even par. We will be right back.
Drive your dreams through Saturday, 10 to 6.
The CSRA's favorite news app is now even better. Download the News Channel 6 mobile app, powered by the Eichholz Law Firm.
With football season here, that means fall is almost here as well. Pumpkin spice products will be covering the shelves soon. Dunkin' Donuts has already launched its pumpkin flavors, including the pumpkin donut and pumpkin swirl coffee. Starbucks is expected to release its pumpkin spice drinks at the end of August. I am in the too soon camp.
Yeah,
Tim.
I am too.
It's too soon for pumpkin.
Way too soon. This forecast will also vote no for pumpkin. Look at these temperatures. I mean, 94 for tomorrow, 93. The humidity is still low. Look at those overnight lows are really comfy. But next week, the heat returns with temperatures pushing near 100, heat index well over 100, and overnight lows in the mid-70s. And unfortunately, our summer storms will be held at bay, at least for a while. It's forecast we'll be watching, of course.
All right, Tim, thank you so much. That is our report for now. We do thank you for joining us. News Channel 6 continues at 7, right after World News Tonight. And then we'll see you again for News Channel 6 at 11. Have a great evening.